Welcome to Song of Solomon, Thematic Bible Study. We are going to reflect from chapters 1 to 4. And so in Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, when we go through the chapter, especially if you see the dialogue between the Shulamite woman and the shepherd king, you see that the Shulamite woman feels so worthless, she feels so unworthy, and she feels so ugly and stuff like that. And some of the things that resonated with me and spoke to my heart while going through chapter 1 of Songs of Song was in chapter 1 verse 2 from Passion Translation. It reads like this: the Shulamite woman is saying to the shepherd king, "Let him smother me with kisses, his spirit kiss divine." And when I just came across that word, let him smother me with kisses, and then it says his spirit kiss divine. And when I was reading to that just like my focus just went on to spirit kiss divine. And as I was just reflecting on that verse, God led me to the Genesis where God creates Adam. And it's like when I look at the creation of Adam, it says when God breathed into Adam's nostrils, like when God breathed into his nostril, like if you have any like if you see any medical shows or TV show, if you see like when people are trying to resuscitate a person, try to bring him back to breathing or bring him back to life, and when they are blowing into his mouth, I feel like it's almost like the person like it's having a face-to-face thing. And I look at God and I look at his creation. He could have had any way of creating man, but God chose to breathe. Like God chose to breathe into Adam's nostrils. And it says that I feel like when God breathed into Adam's nostril, I feel it was a spirit kiss. Like if somebody is breathing just close to your nostrils, it's almost like a kiss. And I think the first love that God showed us was a spirit kiss. That was, he breathed into us. It was like life-giving. That kiss made Adam a living being. That became the source of his life. Like until then he was in the dust. Like it was just a mud, it was just a clay. As soon as God chose to breathe into his nostrils, he became a living being. And for me, I felt like when Shulamite woman was looking at the shepherd king, and all she needed was the divine kiss. All she needed was the life-giving kiss of God, because her soul is not in a right place, and she's hurt. Her identity is missing because she calls herself unworthy. She calls herself ugly. And I felt when she said let him, when she came to God's presence and said, okay, Lord, let God handle this, like I surrender to God. And no matter how much worthless she felt, when she said let him smother me, when he said let him kiss me, let him breathe his life unto me, let me have a divine encounter, I think something happens. Like the dust, like just a clay of Adam, became a living being. He became a living soul at that point when God chose to breathe into his nostrils. And I feel the Shulamite woman wanted the same encounter with God, to once again feel alive, like once again for her soul to come alive, for her life to come alive. That's what I felt, and it's beautiful.